Okay, so I'm back with part 2 of this guy, and this is really cool. There's a website out there called Pexels, and if you've seen my other videos, you've seen that I love this site. Okay, so pexels.com, and I found this guy Cotton Bro who does these really cool videos, and so like I checked it out. I'm like, oh, wow, well, that's kind of cool. We got like skateboard, we got runners, we got kind of slow motion in this like dank tunnel, right? I don't mean dank as in like dank memes and that. I mean like it's dank. It's like nasty, right? So I download it, right? So you can sign up for this and you can download for free. I think actually you don't even have to sign up to get like just the regular HD one, but I'll put the link to this in the actual in the Patreon thingy. So what do we want to do? Well, I want to take this into Blender and I want to use it. So to do that, I just downloaded it, okay? I go back into Blender, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use compositing, and I'm going to load it in and just find the frames I want to use. So use nodes, okay? I can hit M to mute this guy. I don't really need this on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift A. I'm on a roll tonight. Shift A, and I'm going to go to Input, and I'm going to say, let's say movie. Okay, it's a movie clip. I hit open, go to my Pexels folder where I just saved a whole bunch of things, grab this one, so it loads, and I hook it up. Actually, if you hit Control Shift and click, you can get the viewer, and that's what I want. And I also want to install this. So like a really easy way, just Shift A, layout, reroute. There it goes. Wonderful. Okay, there's a keyboard shortcut for that too, but I can't remember it right now, but it's there. So anyway, what you can do, first off, is you want to see this whole thing, right? You can't really see it. So I'm just going to go to View, and I'm going to say, what do I want here? Fit background to available space. Okay, that's pretty cool. And now I'm just going to figure out what part of it I want, right? So I think I don't want the whole thing. I kind of just wanted to start like frame, I don't know, like 111 or 110. That looks pretty good, like somewhere around here, right? Because I want these guys to run a little bit, not from behind the camera, and then I want these veins to start like chasing them. So that's cool. I'm just gonna go from here. So let's just do this. Let's just hit render, and I'm gonna start at 110. And when do I want to end? It's definitely not at 250. I know that. Yeah. So let's say I got 24 frames per second, right? Times, I want this to be maybe a 6-second shot, right? 144 frames. So I'll add that to 110. I could do this in my head, but you can see here. So 254 is good, right? So, okay, maybe I was close. So maybe 254. I don't assume that you guys like know math, and some of you definitely know math. I'm pretty good with math, but I got this air conditioner running right now. It's driving me crazy. So here we go, right? So that's pretty good. What am I going to do with this? Well, I need this, A, for compositing later, and B, I need to track this because this camera is like doing all this crazy stuff, right? So there's like a handheld shot and the guy's like, oh, I'm not getting chased, but I got to make it look like it's getting chased. So whatever. I don't know. I love Cotton Bro. He's awesome. So anyway, let's do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to save this out. So what I'll do is I'll name it veins. This is important. Okay. Veins dot point period pound or hash period. I'll say PNG. Okay. And what this does is it says this is the name of the file. This is the number sequence, and this is the suffix. Okay. This is the extension. So hit accept. And what it'll do now is I think I'll use 16-bit compression. You know, I don't need 16-bit. 8-bit is fine for now, because this is not super high resolution anyway. And save my scene. And now I'm going to go render animation. And it goes. It goes pretty fast because it's just rendering video. Video moves pretty quickly, especially when you haven't done anything to it. Like, I haven't done anything to this video at all. It's just taking the frames and saying, oh, okay, let's spit them out as PNG. There we go, 254, wonderful. So what we do now is I can get rid of this. I don't really need this here. And I'll just go here, hit M, plug this back in, just because. And I'll go over here now, up here, and I'll say VFX, motion tracking. Okay? And it calls in this weird looking thing, and we're gonna track our video. So what I'll do is I'll hit open, and I navigate to the folder with vines. Okay, here's the image sequence I spit out. Okay, hit A to select them all, hit open clip. And there it is. And now you can like zoom in with the middle mouse button. This is really fun, that's cool. I wish you could do this in Compositor. So anyway, here it is. And what I'll do is I'll hit prefetch. So it loads it all into RAM. Now all this is in RAM. And it's only 144 frames, right? So I can go back here and I can say 1 and 144, and it's going. So now what we can do is we can lay in some trackers. Now, you could hit detect features. It's not very good in this program. It's really good in the paid version of DaVinci. Not very good here. It's going to give you these markers, and it's just not. See, it's going to track pixels, but what's immediately going to happen? Okay, I found a nice high contrast area here, but what's going to happen? Like the next couple of frames, she's going to run over this point and it's going to be moot. So I get rid of this one. Oops, sorry. You have to like deselect them all, and then you have to select and then hit delete. Sure. This one should be okay. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit to the corner here. This one should be okay. This one's gonna suck, so delete. This one's gonna suck because she's gonna run into it, so delete. This one probably be okay. I'll just leave it. This is okay. This one, I don't know what it's tracking over here. No, it's tracking his shoe. That's definitely not good, so delete that. And you can see we're left with like nothing, right? So here's what we can figure out. Well, let's go through the frame and see what we can track. Okay, this is never occluded. This is almost never occluded. This guy, I don't think is ever... Nope, he's never occluded. This thing on the wall over here isn't. So I think we can lay down some good trackers and get some decent results. So we're just going to go hit add. Go in here, hit add, right? And then you can like control click and you can add more. If you hold down control and left click, you can add more. So I'm gonna like corner these guys. I'm gonna go on like every corner I can find. This one looks like it might go out of frame, so I'm not gonna worry about that. And I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's good. What else can I track? Let's see, I'll track some of this crap over here. That's probably okay to track. There's not much in here to grab onto. Okay, it goes on contrast. So we could have just gone in and like made this really, really like up the contrast in Compositor and spit this out. And we may still need to, but I think we're okay. I think we're gonna be all right. So the more trackers you have, the better track you're gonna get. But like this tutorial is just showing you kind of what to do. And I think we might get a decent track. So let's try. So we hit this button right here when we're ready. Okay, we hit A, select them all, and then we hit this button. And this is gonna track forward, right? So we track the entire clip. So we hit okay, and we sit back and we watch the magic. And look at that, only 2 more, 1, 2, 3, 4 markers died. Okay, so we go back to the beginning and we figure out where they died. Okay, well this one sucks. This one started tracking her. So let's go in, select this one, delete it. We don't need it. Okay, it's not gonna do us any good. Well, I mean, it might, but I doubt it. Okay, so let's go through here and, ooh, that one, okay, this one fails over here. So we could just hit that. And right before it fails, we can just hit kill forward. So clear track path forward. That kills any forward. So it won't be a part of the calculation anymore. Up to this point, it'll calculate. Up to here, it drops off. It's not part of it. And you don't want those ones. You don't want bad ones in the calculation because it screws everything up. So here's another one. Okay, so this one over here goes bad. So it goes bad about there. So we just hit that, kill it. Huh. What else do we have here? Oh, there's one over here. What's happening over here? This one, I think, is dying. Let's see. Is it it dies. So go over here and kill forward. Good. And this one, did we do that on kill forward? I think we did. Okay, we did. And just make sure that the rest stay. Probably okay. And when you're ready, I don't think this is enough, but when you're ready, you can go here to solve and just hit solve camera motion. Okay, there's a lot of other stuff in here. Like you can go in and you can play with the camera. Okay, you can give it like camera settings. We could go into F-Spy and we can grab this, but this is pretty quick and dirty, and I think we can get away with just doing this. So I'm gonna see. So we'll do self camera motion. Okay, and it gives us a solve error of 1.62 pixels. Okay, that might be okay. Ultimately, you want underneath, so you want under 1. You want like point something something, but like 0.03 is usually really good. This might work. So what we can do from here is we can just hit set up tracking scene, and it gives us this, and then yeah, that's probably pretty cool. So what we can do here is we can go to layout, and if I roll this, okay, you'll see that the camera's moving. Okay, the camera actually has data on it. Okay, doesn't show up in the keyframes, but it's there. So what we do now is we just hit 0, and we're looking through it. And the cool thing is, like, I can hit N to open this up and go to view, and I can say camera to view, and I can kind of match it. So here's where going into F-Spy would really help, but I'm just going to try to match this up. And what you want to do is just kind of match the lines. And you also want to match the camera. Camera's rotated now, and that's probably pretty bad. So let's fix that. And now what we want to do is want to look at the camera and say, okay, it's probably not there. So let's go to camera, and focal length is probably less than 24. I'm going to guess about 18. Let's see. If I move this down, rotate that out, that's looking not too bad. That's looking kind of close. Let's try 17.5, maybe 17. Let's go and see. It's kind of matching up. Yeah. Let's try 19. F-Spy would give you an exact number, but that's looking pretty good. Okay, we can kind of eyeball it. And the veins are going to be moving, so it should work. All right. And let's see. Oh, not too bad. It's moving and it's good. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and delete this guy. And obviously, like, you can work this and work this and work this and go in and do crazy stuff. I'd used F-Spy in my Meat Monster video. If you want me to do a video on F-Spy, just let me know in the comments and I'll show you how to use that as well. But it's pretty simple. So let's just go here. You know what? Let's scale this out, right? So I'll just go to scale, and I'll just go on the Y. Let's see, scale, push that out, and I'll scale it on the X out to the walls. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to up this. So I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to go into here, or you could just hit 2 on the keyboard. Okay, select those guys, hit E, and just drag it up. Well, you don't want to just do that, right? You want to just, you want to hit E, and then you can move it, just pull it up. So that way it doesn't bend around. Or you could just hit like E and then G and then Z, and that'll work too. So it doesn't matter. It just do it whatever way you want. So now what we're going to do is we have this, and we're kind of working, right? So not too bad. I mean, you can see it's a little jumpy. I don't think that's going to cause too many problems in our shot, being that the vines are going to be moving. It may. So you might want to get a better track on that. But in the essence of time here, I'm just showing you how it works. You could just keep putting more points in and you'll get a better solve. So anyway, here's what we do. So we take that and we go back to the vein thing. So let's take it off view. We don't need this anymore. And now what I'll do is I'll just add in a Bezier curve, right? So Shift A, oops, let's get out of edit. Shift A, go to Bezier curve, Bezier, there it is, okay? Move so we can see it, there it is. Hit tab, hit A, don't need those, hit delete, vertices, sure. And now let's go to here, draw, and where's our camera? Here's our camera. So we can start it behind the camera and we can just draw. Oops, don't do it that way. Make sure you're on surface. Okay, surface. Now we can draw and it'll adhere to the floor. Cool, look at that. Ooh, get them. Go get them, go get those teenagers. They're loud and they're young and they're teenagers, so they're in a movie, so they have to be the sacrificial teenagers. And so we'll draw some on the wall. And I find too, it's sometimes just better to draw it on the outside of the wall. It's fine. It's going to go in, and it's not going to matter too much. All right, so we can just draw like a whole mess of these. Just draw a bunch. Just make happy little lines, happy little killer vine lines that are going to eat teenagers or wrap them up or whatever they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. Do you know what they're going to do? I don't know. I'll just make these. Cool, right? Yay. And you'll inevitably see some of these suck. So we'll fix that in a minute. Let's just go ahead and make a couple of more here. Just a couple more along the walls. Okay, now some of these, like you'll see, it's not like perfect. This is never perfect. So you gotta go in and just kind of find the ones that are stupid, unless you want those. And let's get rid of the stupid light. Stupid light be gone. And then I'll just go here, select these guys, and just hit delete. I don't need them, that's fine. And maybe these two are out here. I don't want them there, so delete. That's cool. And yeah, I think that's fine. No, here, you guys come up. I could probably like move these down. G, Z, turn them down. Make a mess on the floor. I don't care. All right, good. So now what we can do is we can just add, right? Just what we did before. Go to Bezier curve. Go here. And we could just go to geometry. And we'll just say bevel depth. A little bit. That's cool. And start and end mapping. So we could start here. Actually, we could probably start at like 20. We'll start 1 second in. So I'll go 24. Okay. And pull it back. Okay. Right click. You could just hit this little dot too. You don't have to right click and hit keyframe. You could just hit that. And then we'll go to the end. And we'll just make them chase. Dot. Boom. So now we have this. Moving, and ooh, there they go, chasing the teenagers. And we could add more. So let's add a second one. So again, here's how you do it. Bezier curve, hit tab, hit A, delete them all. Sure, we already oops, I don't want that one. What am I doing? Don't do that. Do this. Shift D, enter. Okay, I thought I did that before, didn't. Okay, make a copy. Then hit tab. It'll all be selected. If not, hit A. Then hit delete, vertices, sure. Now, on the second one, we can go back to the draw, and we can draw more in. So here we can draw some that come out of the other ones. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you see what I'm doing. And you can draw as many in these as you want. That's totally fine. Whatever. That's up to you. Maybe have some go on the wall, go back down. Is it working? Ooh, yeah, it is. Let's do that. Let's draw some on the wall, and off the wall, and on the wall, and off the wall. Yeah, not bad. Does that work? Sure. Okay. So this one now actually, because we copied it, it has all the keyframes, right? So we can go here. And we can pull this down. Sometimes you see it's no keyframes. You just middle mouse drag and pull it down. And oh, there's keyframes. So we can just pull, I want to pull that out. Kind of just pull this out here, maybe. And let's see. Let's see what we got. Hit space bar. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. More coming. There we go. Kind of gross. Yeah, nasty. Okay, so now we need to like add in the lights. Okay, so let's just emulate the lighting that we have in here. This is cool. This is a cool way to do it. We have all those tracking markers. So if we go back to motion tracking, we have these tracking markers. So what we can do with those tracking markers is, so you can go to solve, you can go to geometry, and then you can say 3D markers to mesh. Helps if you select them first. Select them first, then go 3D markers to mesh. See, this is good. I'm like making little mistakes and you can learn from it. Sure, yeah, that sounds great. Okay, so here we are, and let's go to 0 and figure out where these are, right? So these are the ones I want. I want these guys. Okay, so tracks. Okay, these are geometry. Right, if I hit tab, let's see these points. Probably don't need these points, so I'm gonna delete these. Vertices, sure. I just wanna keep these ones up here because that's where this light is that we tracked. Okay, we'll go right back here and yeah, it's kind of like where that light was if we move the camera. So, okay, that gives us kind of an idea of where the light is. So we want that. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna add in a light. So let's just go do light and we'll say area, throw this up, throw it back. Yeah, there it is, right? Good. And we'll make this into a, we don't want a square, we want a rectangle. And we'll size it up. And let's look at our reference here. Size it up. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, get it as close as you can. Okay. You shrink it down a little bit. 23 meters, that's kind of huge, man. I think we size our scene, but whatever. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And well, we can actually go here. We can pull this out now and we can start seeing how this light's going to affect. Now the area lights, these big area lights, they kind of need like a lot of power, right? So like, probably like, I don't know, 15,000, I don't know, maybe. And we can kind of take this color, maybe push it up a little bit. We could change it in comp, doesn't matter. But so we're just going to go ahead and use this, all right? So here we go. That's good. And yeah, that'll work. Okay, works for me. And we got to figure out where the other ones are too. So let's go. I'll use U for now. And let's just go here and figure out where those are. So Shift D, okay, and we'll move this down about there, Shift D. It's kind of like where the camera is, from where the camera is should work. Okay, push this out to the end. Oops, see it's disappearing? The reason for that is you have to go to camera, and then you have to go end, so clip, these are the clipping planes. I'll just throw that out to like 100,000, okay, there it is. So here's our other light, there it is, you can see it again. Shift D one more time, go on the Y, push it down to about where that other light is, and you're not gonna see down there anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? So here we go. And let's go to cycles and see what this looks like. So once we see our things, yeah, they're getting light down there. Okay, that's cool, it's working. Looks pretty good to me. These are gonna be pretty dark anyway, so yeah. What's going on here? I don't really like it. Oh, I see. Okay, well, let's see. Let's fix this while we're here. Where are you? Okay, here we go. Let's see what it does. Yeah, sure, why not? It folds back, I don't know. Great, cool. So now what we can do is we can add in that vine texture that we made before in the last one. So we can just go File, Append, and here it is, vines, okay, in Material. Okay, so it's in that blend file under Material, Vines, and it should call it in. It'll assign it, and I should be getting soon. Nope. I'm in Eevee, so let's change to cycles, and we'll see it. Okay, so that's good. We're not seeing it, so I just appended it. I did not assign it. So let's go to shading, okay? And let's just assign vines, and there we go. So let's see what it looks like. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go here. Same thing, vines, there. Great. So we got vines growing. And, you know, we could mess with the scale and all that, but for now I'm just going to leave it. Maybe I'll make these a little thinner. Let's see. Might be a cooler. So I'll just go to geometry, and I'll just go here to depth. Pull these ones down a little bit, leave the other ones pretty fat, and that's probably pretty good. And the displacement, I could even go in here and do 0.5, and yeah, that might be cooler. All right, so if I go to render now, render image, okay, there they are, kind of messy. I think I have some subsurface scattering on these guys too. But let's take these, because I don't think these are actually, they're not deforming very well. So let's up this resolution, up that resolution, up this resolution, up this resolution, and resolution here for the bevel. Let's up that. Let's up that. Yeah, it'll take a little longer to render, but it's going to look better. And yeah, it's looking a little bit better. Cool. It's looking kind of leafy and nasty and stupid. Okay, I dig that. And what's this guy? This guy can't start here. No, you can't. You have to actually start from somewhere inside the other one. So don't try to play that game. All right, good enough. Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll turn this down. It's like endlessly tweaking things. All right, and then going back into shading, and maybe I could take this down 0.25 again. Okay, that's better. I think that's better. Now we'll do a test render and see. And I'm working in the latest version of Blender, not 3, because Cycles X, Cycles 10 doesn't seem to be working with Shadow Catcher or any of this stuff yet. So I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to do it in here. But first, I think I want to make sure that none of these are actually going through the walls. So let's turn these up again. Let's just go ahead and make these fatter. That's fine. And that's probably okay. I don't think any of these are going to go through the walls. Let's see. Okay, these guys are not splitting off from their parents. So it's telling me that they're not starting where they should be. So let's just go and fix that now. Let's just go ahead in here. Where are you? There you are. You. Let's kind of attach it. This guy goes in and out. I don't like that. So let's push him. All right, that's probably pretty good. Don't know where this one's coming from. Let's find that out. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right, good enough. Let's do a test render. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get this in comp. Make this look much better. Plus, it's rendering. I don't think I'm going to use subsurface scattering because it's really noisy. Maybe I'll just do a pass or something. But that's getting there. Okay, that's slowly getting there, and should start seeing some shadows on here. Let's make sure that we have this guy selected. Let's go to shading, and okay, we have a principled shader on here. It's fine. Okay, let's turn on shadow catcher. Probably work. Let's go to compositing, and what do we have here? We have all this stuff set up. I don't want all this stuff set up. I don't want any of that set up. I just want my display, input, render layers is fine. Throw that up here. Don't need to view it right now, that's good. And let's just go render image. And there's the shadows, perfect. So it gives me shadows and it gives me the vines. Exactly what I want. Perfect. Look at the alpha, there's the alpha. Foreground, background is giving me this pass. Kind of liking that. I can take care of that in comp for now. That should be good. Actually, let's take this. Let's go to shading. Let's turn the base color all the way down. Turn up the roughness. Do another pass. Not too bad. Foreground, background looks better. Okay, that's gonna show up better in comp now that I turned that down. And yeah, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and render it out, and then I'll come back and show you how to comp it. I realized too, I should probably show you where to put it. So I'm just gonna go ahead in here in the same folder. I'm gonna call it veins out. And this time, instead of PNG, I'm gonna go ahead and use a OpenEXR multi-layer. They're a bit bigger, but they give you more data to work with. And I'm going to say, let's see here. I'm going to say I want mist. I think I definitely want, I definitely want the Z. And I don't really need a normal. I could relight in post in like Resolve and Fusion or Nuke with normal, but I'm not going to do that right now. Denoising data, sure, why not? And I don't need material index. I could go with ambient occlusion, because why not? I don't really need these others because I don't have too much going on those, and I don't really need this stuff. So I think that's probably fine. That's good. And I also think I'm going to put adaptive sampling on. I'm going to turn on denoising, open image denoise, and I think that's pretty good. And some of you may have missed, I turned on film and I put on transparent. I usually have this on by default, but sometimes I think this is off by default. So you want this to be on, or else you're going to kind of render the background and everything else. And over here, remember, we just made this under object properties. We made that into a shadow catcher. So it catches the shadows of these things with the lighting. And I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and render this, and then I will see you soon. All right, so we're back. And I'm going to now go into compositing. I'm going to load in the frames and composite them. I'm just going to do the whole thing in Blender because you guys asked for Blender, so I'm going to use Blender. So let's go here and go input. Let's do an image sequence. All right, let's go vines. Take in these guys. And let's go in, do it again, and we'll just comp them together. So here's the background. Okay, just shift and control, click here, gets that. And let's do an over. So let's just do a, let's see what we can do. Let's do an alpha over. Okay, we'll throw that in the background, take this, throw it into the foreground. And looking pretty cool. I mean, decent, right? Moves, start to trace. Now let's see what we have. We choose composite, and the whole thing. So what we can do is we can also multiply the shadow underneath or over, directly over this thing. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, let's try this. Alpha over, Control Shift D, take this guy. I'm gonna say, let's see. Actually, yeah. And what I'll do is composite, background. Background, that's what I want. There's the shadow. So cool, we're getting the shadow in there. We're getting everything kind of looking cool. It's casting. It is giving me like a lot of dirt on the walls, so probably need to clean that up. And we can do that with, let's try a, you know what, I don't like brightness and contrast. Let's try a curve. Let's try RGB curves here and see if I can knock that out. Let's take a look and see what that looks like directly. Okay, so that's what it's giving us directly. All right, so that's not gonna work. This is all iteration. Let's get rid of this guy, and let's try brightness and contrast this time. So out, image, pre-multiply over the top of this guy. And let's see, here we go. We can up the contrast. Yeah, we don't have too many great tools here to do this with. That's not making any real difference. But we could take it down a bit. It does add a kind of layer of grime, which is pretty cool. So we probably have to go back and re-render that shadow pass a little bit and definitely try to get rid of a lot of that noise in there. Or we could, we could just keep playing around with some of these settings here, or maybe, take it into Resolve where we have a lot more control over the direction of that and try to clean that up. But, we could choke alphas and mats and all sorts of things, but it's probably best to just go and re-render it. But that's fine for now. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? So it's not too bad. They're definitely going and chasing those teenagers, right? So what else can we do here? Ooh, I kind of like that darkness. I like that grime it kind of puts on the walls. Actually, it's kind of not bad. It's noisy, but I don't know. Maybe it would work. Not too sure, but not bad. So you see where I'm going with this. So yeah, we can do that. And I could probably even, you know what? I wonder. No, this actually, let's throw this out to comp. And we do have noisy image here. So I could actually try this. Let's try this. Denoise, noisy image. Cleans it up a little bit. Not a whole lot, but not too bad. We'll probably do the same thing with this guy. Take it over here, put noisy image, or denoising albedo this time. Maybe normal. It'll give it a little bit of denoising. Takes longer to comp though. All right, now I think I can color correct this just a bit, just to bring it into the comp a little bit more and seal it in. If you look down here, you probably give it some depth of field blur, or definitely soften it up a little bit too. So we can take these veins here after the denoise, And I can add a filter. So let's see, filter. That'll soften it up a little bit. And I could also probably do a color correct on here. So color, I could do color balance. I kind of like color balance. And I could kind of bring it all home. So the darks, they're pretty dark. So we could really just take the darks down. Maybe up a little bit. And we could play around here with the gamma. And just kind of like rough it up a little bit. So just be thinking. Probably don't need that much. So that'll work. Yeah, let's crush the blacks a little bit. There we go. And then we can actually just run one of these over the whole thing. So I can just go color correct. No, I don't like color correct. Color correction, color balance. And now maybe we can play around just a little bit. So maybe I could take the, let's see here. Offset, power, slope, or we have lift gamma. I'll try lift gamma. And I'll throw in some blues underneath because this is like a really yellow cast to this. And then maybe some orange, or let's see, some green. Maybe we could make it really eerie. Or we could like totally Stranger Things, like Otherworld it, or Upside Down World, and kind of pull it into the blue a little bit in the highs and more blue in the lows. Not too much, but enough. And you can play around and just kind of get a feel for, what you want. And then you can always go ahead too after this. You can go ahead and add in a, let's see here, if I hit G, move this over, I could probably add a filter, maybe a glare on here. That'll just punch it up a little bit. We'll do fog glow. Take the threshold down. You'll see it really light up a bit. Get down a little bit. I don't know. Play around. And there you go. So let's see. They're running. These things start coming. They come out of the walls. Coming out of the walls, man. Come out of the walls. So not bad. Maybe I'll render it now and we'll take a look. So here it is. Yeah, I could use some motion blur, probably a better track, just in a few frames, but not too bad. Not too bad for a short amount of time throwing this all together. So hopefully you learned something. If you haven't, or you have questions or whatever, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Let me know what you guys want me to cover, because I'll gladly make videos for you guys. So just let me know. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.